You're welcome back to the conversation segment. And quickly, just before we go, we have the Bayo Onanuga calling for sanction on Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, the special advisor to President Tinubu on information and strategy. Bayo Onanuga's called on legal regulatory bodies in Nigeria to sanction one of the lawyers representing the IPOB leader who's been detained, Nnamdi Kanu, and which is Aloy Ejimakor, for participating in the ongoing #FreeNnamdiKanu protest holding in Abuja today, October 20. Onanuga criticized Ejimakor for joining the demonstration organized by human rights activist and former presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore. And according to the presidential aide, Ejimakor's participation in the protest undermines legal ethics, given that Kanu's case is still before the competent court. And he says he supported Aloy Ejimakor, one of Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, among the small group of protesters and mobilized in Abuja by Sowore. He says, and I quote, "I wonder what Mr. Ejimakor was thinking when he decided to join this shambolic protest. As a lawyer, he should be aware of the principle of sub judice, particularly in relation to the ongoing treason case before the court. The prosecution has concluded its case, and it's now incumbent upon Mr. Ejimakor and the other lawyers to mount a strong defense for Kanu." And to speak further on this is Barrister Chidi Ujoatumba. He's a human rights lawyer and, of course, a social commentator. Good evening, Barrister Chidi, and what do you make of this, especially coming from the presidential aide? First word there calling this protest a shambolic one and also calling for the sanction of Aloy Ejimakor.
Good evening, Amazing Grace, and thanks for having me. Oh, okay. It's I don't think that call will hold waters at the end of the day, because there is no law or any kind of principle stopping any lawyer from being a part of any peaceful protest. Peaceful protest is peaceful protest. Anyone can protest. You have the right. It's a constitutional right to protest. It's a way of people speaking out and making their opinion known. Now that a case is in court and a lawyer who is participating is part of a protest, that one does not even make sense to me at all. Because in the past, we've seen situations where, Danny Fayemi, you understand, participated in so many cases that he was also personally involved. So when we look at a situation where someone who is genuinely fighting for the freedom of his people is being incarcerated, more than the required period that the law provides. When we look at such situation in one hand, and we also look at a situation whereby those who are real known terrorists are brandishing their AK-47, entering into a kind of a memorandum of understanding with those who are working for the current government. And when we also come and look at the situation where the president can pardon people, who have committed heinous offenses just in the name of presidential pardon. And then we look back and we say to ourselves, are we still breathing? Is blood still running in our veins? Why can't we speak up? Why can't we just arise and speak up? I don't think that Barrister Aloy Ejimakor has breached any ethics of the law or of the profession by being a part of a peaceful protest. The constitution of this country provided for peaceful protest, and under it, there is no exception of a lawyer. If they are talking, I want to know whether there is any, kind of principle that will bar a lawyer from participating in a peaceful protest, even if that lawyer is part of the case. So I am waiting probably for them to, bring him before a court and let me know the law upon which they will charge him, whether civil or
or criminal, because I have tried to look at the law. No one is a repository of legal knowledge, but I've tried to look at the law within the confines of my own little library, but I have not found any law that bars or prohibits a counsel who is in a particular case, protesting, more especially when you look at the political, angle of this case. So I think a protest will go a long way to persuade the government in power to look at a way by which they can, free him and forget about the case that is going on at the Federal High Court. Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to stop here because my time is up. But of course, I do intend to have this conversation again with you so we can really talk about it. Thank you so much for joining in tonight.